Welcome, esteemed viewers. Today we uncover the ultimate paradox of the ancient world. Imagine a floating city, glowing with pristine white pyramids and crystal-clear waterways. While London and Paris drowned in filth, this Aztec capital was a shining eco-marvel. Yet, this breathtaking paradise harbored a terrifying secret beneath its golden sun. It was a utopia built on extreme brilliance, but watered daily by rivers of human blood. According to ancient codices, the Mexica people began as outcasts driven from their homes. They wandered aimlessly through harsh lands, suffering from endless hunger and bitter rejection. Forced into the barren and salty swamps of Lake Texcoco, they faced certain starvation. But their spiritual guide received a divine prophecy from the mighty god of war. They were told to search for a sacred eagle perched upon a prickly pear cactus. This majestic bird would be clutching a venomous rattlesnake firmly within its sharp beak. In the year 1325, they finally witnessed this miraculous omen in the mud. Falling to their knees in the dirty water, the exhausted refugees wept with profound joy. They immediately began driving thick wooden piles deep into the unforgiving salty lake bed. Despite the impossible conditions, they laid the foundation for a glorious new empire. Slowly, the muddy waters gave way to solid ground built completely by human determination. The early shamans led the people to transform this barren wasteland into a thriving home. They constructed their very first humble shrines using only simple reeds and raw natural clay. As years passed, the small settlement expanded rapidly against all geographical odds. If you were cast into a toxic swamp with nothing, could you build a world wonder from scratch? The Aztecs achieved exactly this through brilliant engineering and sheer relentless willpower. They carved an island from the deep water, defying the destructive forces of angry nature. Soon, the humble village transformed into a sprawling metropolis of spectacular stone. Grand avenues were meticulously planned, forming a massive grid over the shimmering lake. This was the birth of Tenochtitlan, the crown jewel of the vast and powerful Aztec Empire. But a massive city surrounded by salty water faced the terrifying threat of starvation. To survive, brilliant architects invented the Chinampas, a miracle of ancient agriculture. Farmers wove massive floating rafts from thick roots and branches, securing them to the lake floor. They piled rich, fertile mud from the bottom of the lake onto these incredibly strong wooden frames. These artificial islands yielded up to 7 abundant harvests of golden maize every year. Muscular workers labored endlessly under the scorching sun, tending to the floating green farms. This brilliant system easily fed hundreds of thousands of citizens without exhausting the land. Yet, controlling the wild lake waters required astounding feats of genius engineering. Master builders constructed a massive 16-kilometer dike to block out the salty floods. This immense wall perfectly separated the dangerous saltwater from the city's freshwater zone. Meanwhile, Europeans suffered from deadly plagues caused by drinking highly contaminated water. The Aztecs, however, designed incredible twin-pipe aqueducts carrying crystal-pure spring water. These baked clay channels ran all the way from the mainland mountains directly into the royal palace. Cleanliness was considered a sacred duty, with streets swept spotlessly clean every single day. 1,000 men worked tirelessly to collect and transport human waste to fertilize the growing crops. This was the true Venice of the Americas, boasting a highly advanced ecological cycle. Canoes glided smoothly through a vast network of extremely organized and peaceful water canals. Even the mighty Spanish conquistadors were left absolutely speechless by its majestic beauty. Historical records claim they thought they were dreaming when they first saw the towering white temples. The grand architecture reflected an empire completely obsessed with perfect geometric order. Every building aligned perfectly with the stars, honoring the unpredictable cosmic forces. They conquered nature, turning a muddy trap into an untouchable and glorious floating fortress. But the true heartbeat of this incredible metropolis wasn't just its water, it was its wealth. Welcome to Tlatelolco, the most magnificent and bustling central market of the ancient Americas. Every single day, over 60,000 people gathered here to trade exotic and valuable goods. From high above, Emperor Moctezuma watched his wealthy empire function with absolute precision. He stood proudly on his stone balcony, his stunning green quetzal feathers blowing gently in the wind. Down in the crowded square, the massive trading system operated without using any metal coins. Instead, the citizens carefully exchanged precious cacao beans and small transparent quills of gold dust. Vendors displayed highly polished jade stones, beautifully woven cotton cloaks, and sharp obsidian blades. The vibrant market was strangely quiet, a place of serious and highly disciplined silent bargaining. This strict silence was enforced by heavily armed market inspectors patrolling the narrow stone pathways. Wearing pristine white tunics, these ruthless judges carried heavy wooden clubs to punish any thief. Anyone caught stealing or altering the strict prices was immediately beaten or executed on sight. Hidden within the crowd were the Pocteca, wealthy merchants who also served as imperial spies. Carrying massive wooden frames on their tired backs, they carefully observed the hostile neighboring tribes' secrets. They mapped out foreign territories, ensuring that the emperor knew exactly when and where to strike next. Because Tenochtitlan did not survive on trade alone, it fed its power by completely conquering others. Slaves and prisoners of war were sold openly here, bound together with thick and heavy woven ropes. But these miserable captives were not meant for hard labor. They served a much more terrifying purpose. Would you support a flawless economic utopia if its wealth was built on extreme and brutal oppression? The Aztecs believed such brutal dominance was entirely necessary to maintain cosmic balance and order. And so, the golden sun setting over the bustling market cast long, very dark shadows across the lake. As night fell, the horrific truth of the mighty Aztec Empire was finally revealed at the Great Temple. They were masters of engineering, but they were also widely known as the most bloodthirsty ancient rulers. To the Mexica, human blood was not just a symbol of death, it was the sacred fuel of the universe. They firmly believed that without a constant offering of fresh blood, the sun would simply refuse to rise. Their terrifying military campaigns were never about destroying land, but purely about taking live captives. These specialized raids were famously called the Flowery Wars, designed only to harvest living human beings. The massive Templo Mayor stood brightly illuminated by flickering torches against the dark nighttime sky. Emperor Moctezuma performed the horrifying ritual himself, wearing deep crimson-stained heavy robes. His face was smeared with dark ash, hiding any trace of mercy beneath a terrifying religious mask. A captured Tlaxcalan warrior was fiercely dragged to the bloody stone altar, struggling against thick ropes. Painted in sacrificial black and white stripes, the captive glared up with incredible defiant hatred. The high priest chanted deeply, his terrifying voice cutting through the intense and heavy silence of the night. With a swift and brutal strike, the razor-sharp obsidian dagger plunged directly into the victim's strong chest. The still beating heart was violently ripped out and offered to the skies, feeding the hungry sun god above. Tens of thousands died on these towering steps, their precious blood washing down the pristine white pyramids. Historians claim that 20,000 captives were sacrificed during one single religious festival. It is a chilling historical reality. The cleanest city on Earth was built upon a massive mountain of skulls. Their brilliant floating gardens and organized markets could never completely wash away the endless stain of death. Tenochtitlan remains humanity's ultimate paradox, a beacon of intelligence fueled entirely by darkness. The Aztecs built a true marvel, yet paid for it with unimaginable human sacrifice. Were they visionary architects of the future, or just ruthless tyrants? Share your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.